So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Prairie Vintage. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirit and my intuition, the tarot, to communicate energies to you guys, amazing viewers. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. I'm so blessed to be here, and I'm so glad that you found me. For those of you guys returning, I'm so grateful, and I can't wait to get into your reading today. Today's reading, I do want to put a big caveat on it because it could be quite triggering here if we're tapping into our own energy. Okay, so my intention is never to create triggers, and if we are, then I do say good, because then we've uncovered something that needs to be looked at. Okay, but that's between you and spirit. Whether you're prepared, not prepared, has absolutely nothing to do with the channel here. It has to do with your own connection with spirit. So my commitment's to deliver the message as I see it for those who are ready to hear it. If you're not ready, come back. Okay, you're not forced to stay here. It's between you and spirit. And of course, if we're not resonating, we're indifferent. There is no energy buildup. Okay, so if there's energy buildup any which way, then it's most likely your message. Now, we could be tapping into someone around you. Okay, someone you're involved with, a situation, circumstance, person, place, thing carries energy, and I don't know which I'm tapped into. So I might be attributing or ascribing that energy to you, but it might not be your energy, or to someone around you, and it might be your energy. So it's up to you, of course, because for all of you guys, it will be different. Okay, but the way the channel comes through is the way it comes through, and it's intended for those ready to hear it and for those who are wanting to take a deeper look into the truth. Okay, so what I'm diving into is what this person believes to be true, and I don't know if it's in regards to them, their situation, circumstance, or about you. Okay, and then what the actual truth is. So what is the truth? What is the objective truth? What is spirit wanting this person to understand or see beyond that in which they perceive? Okay, so like I always say, this channel is for those of you guys who are ready to dive into healing, and healing isn't always pleasant. Sometimes it stretches us beyond our comfortability. Okay, but if it's too triggering, sometimes those doors are closed for a reason. And if they're closed for a reason, then we're just not ready. We're not prepared. Then come back. Okay, only you can click. I can't click for you, and this world doesn't revolve around you. There's lots of people in this universe. So those people who are ready to hear it, this is my commitment. And so for the rest of you guys, I say see you later. Not because I don't love you. It's because this is for those ready to hear it. I can't go and accommodate the wounded only and tiptoe around them, just like the collective can't. Okay, if we're wounded, if we're unhealed, if we're traumatized or distorted, that's on us. That's not on anyone else, you and spirit, of course. Okay, and you're not on your own. There's lots of resources here. This might just not be your resource, or this may be. I don't know. I hope it helps. Okay, helping doesn't necessarily mean make you feel fluffy, make you feel good. Helping means I've seen something. I opened a door, and this door might have been painful. This door might have been a hallelujah. This door is something I haven't seen before. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you. So if you don't resonate with the way that this person is sort of seeing something or believing something or appearing as though they're seeing or believing, then this isn't your pile. Don't make it fit. Don't force it to fit. Okay, and this isn't Linda's opinion. I'm channeling the information and the cards as they come through. So it's not me giving you any advice. This is spirit telling you exactly what it is. Of course, if you resonate with that pile. Okay, so I'm just the channel here. You know, I'm not going to be the one who's taking any credit for any of this information, nor is it Linda's coming up with any advice. Okay, beautiful angels, and this is your channel and your information. So again, if it's not your pile, then go elsewhere. Okay, I just have to repeat that very loud caveat because I want the ones who are supposed to be here, and the ones who are just not getting it to go elsewhere until they're ready to come back. Go elsewhere. Okay, if you're ready, then you're here. Great. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's get there together. I'll hold your hand. Spirit's going to deliver this message. We'll get through the other side. Okay, I love you guys all very, very much. You guys are all very safe and welcome in this space with me today. And I hope to get to the bottom of whatever this information is you need to know. Now, these are the decks I'll be using for today's reading. I'll put a link right here for those of you guys who are interested in energetically charging these cards for future readings. This will help for us to connect our energy. And of course, because energy isn't fixed on any sort of one form timeline, you can charge these at any point in time. Of course, you can just go and take a look at these because these are beautiful decks. This is a new deck I got, and most of those videos have a mini reading. And so that mini reading can definitely be tied into what's going on in your world. Okay, so gorgeous angels, for this reading, it will be a pick a card. I will pull from the, Spirit is saying from the Blind Spot Oracle. Okay, this will be interesting. We're going to pull from the Blind Spot Oracle, and then we're going to pull a button as well. Okay, and I'll see you guys at your pick. All right, so we're going to pull from the Blind Spot Oracle 3 cards. You got 3 piles here. If at any point you're pulled to any one of these 3, then you can select from the timestamp below, okay? And then we'll pull a button as well. Now, don't take these words literally. We don't know until we channel the message what it is that's pulling through for the energy of these cards, okay? So don't get hung up on the wording, but do use your intuition. So Spirit, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3 is here to dig into the truth about themselves, a situation, a person, whatever they're needing to hear in regards to what they think and what the truth is. The biggest energy in regards to the challenge or the deception or the confusion, may that pull through these readings so that the collective can understand what is the objective truth going on. I feel it's this one. For pile 1. For pile 2, Spirit, pile 2. What is it that pile 2 is understanding, or their situation, circumstance, people, place, thing in regards to the truth? Pile 3, for the greatest and highest good. Pile 3. Okay. So let's reveal these before we pull a button. Okay. For pile 1, there's superiority with number 60 and 6. All right, for pile 2, conversion with 66. Lots of 6s. Pile number 3, coping with the number 9. All right, let's pull your buttons. I'm going to pull 1, unless, of course, more come through for each pile. So for pile number 1, with superiority, what is the button for pile 1? We have thank you button. I don't think this is part of the pack because it's not numbered, but it is definitely coming through. Okay, so we have thank you. All right. Boop. Okay, and then for pile 2, conversion, your button is 66. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that synchronicity. Or is it a 99? No, it's a 66, and it's these lips, and it's shouting no. It's giving me the Bugs Bunny meme. He says no. Okay, pile number 3, the coping. You guys got 2. We have a racetrack in the shape of a figure 8, number 42, and then we have a coiled serpent, 39. Vroom, vroom. Okay, pile number 1, 2, and 3 is set. Take as long as you need, beautiful angels. If you don't find anything here that's meaning anything to you, then it's just definitely for someone else, okay? That has nothing to do with this channel or anything like this. Don't force it to fit. It's not your reading. It's not your pile today, okay? But if it does create any sort of energy, whether it be swinging one way or the other, then it's most likely showing you something, whatever this something is. Okay, so bless you. I'll see you guys at your pick. Take as long as you need, and I will put the timestamps below. I'll see you shortly. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. Superiority, number 60, and the thank you button. Lots of energies already pulling through. And what I want to say here is that if this is someone around you, this could be an insight into this person. However, generally, we see in others what's going on within us, okay? And it doesn't mean in the exact same way, but it could be through suppression. It could be through some distorted understanding we may have, okay? And this could be your message because it's coming through strong. So if we're dealing with someone that I'm channeling here, we're going to try to dive into why is this then coming through your reading, okay? Rather than offloading it as someone else's problem and now I understand it as their problem, okay? Of course, unless that's how it comes through, but we're going to see. So superiority and thank you and the number 60 here. I do feel like this is a very heavy pile because I do feel there's something in regards to one coin double-sided. Okay, one coin double-sided with this 6. So I feel like there's a fine line between this energy of love and fear. There might be this, because we got superiority here, so there could be a power dynamic going on here for control in different ways. Okay, so what would be the opposite side of the polarity of superiority? You know, maybe someone who is feeling inferior, you know, and we got to understand what side we're on. So I feel like this is going to be showing both sides. Okay, also getting masculine, feminine, yin, yang, the shadow and the light. So this could be all our energy, all one person's energy that we're dealing with, or reflecting between us and another person. It's difficult for us to know what part is us. If you resonate with this pile, we're going to have to really dive in deep here, okay? Because it's easy to see other people's shadow and not our own. So this might be challenging. So the thank you here I do feel is gratitude. And gratitude is a very high vibration. Okay, gratitude allows us to be in the highest vibration here for us to feel feelings of love. So let's dive into it. I have pre-shuffled oracle cards. I've not looked at these, and then we have the tarot, which I'll lay out as well, and then we'll begin to channel what this is. So we have masculine energy with Mars. So Mars is masculine, like I say, and masculine is an output of energy. It's kind of tied back to this superiority energy as well. Mars is the ruling planet for Aries and Scorpio. And then, like I said, I was feeling feminine and masculine. Two sides of one coin. So masculine would be here in the Mars, and then we have the moon on the other side here. Let's see how this channels through. And then we have the Virgin's milk. So, of course, there's no real such thing as the Virgin's milk because virgins don't produce milk. So there could be some form of delusion going on here, okay? Or an understanding that's like to produce a something, but the something can't be produced based on the foundation in which it sits. I know that sounds confusing, but that's exactly what that is. And then we have feeling unloved. So remember I said, the other side of this coin, I haven't looked at any of this, but superiority, then it's like the opposite of that, like unworthy, I'm inferior, I'm less than, I'm unloved. Okay, 11 and 2. And this could even be like I act superior because inside I'm unworthy, and so I gotta make up for it. And there's this not true belief. Okay, so feeling unloved, feeling unessential, feeling rejected, separation, indifference, feeling isolated, feeling abandoned. Type 2, the helper emotional center between giving and receiving. So we have Pisces energy and Libra. I do feel the Libra is coming through in relationship here, okay, even with the Lovers here, which is Gemini, by the way. And then we also have the number 40, Aries energy, which is back to this masculine. So I'm feeling feminine and masculine energy again. So red is root chakra, which, like I always say, it could be deep, deep within us where we have this misbelief in regards to, like our own sense of stability and security, the foundation, the groundedness, and our strength here that creates every other chakra upon it, because the root is the first to be grounded and stable and balanced. Okay, but there's something about abandonment that comes through with this as well. So I don't know if I'm channeling two energies or one, like I said, of the same person, but two separate channels here, okay? Yeah. Alrighty. Capricorn as well as coming through, if I didn't say. I don't think I did. Okay, and then we have Sun Splendor. Wow, look at this. So this is like a 10-cup energy. 53. Or the number 8. So 8 is all about movement, change, attainment. It's also ego, because it connects to the Strength card, which is the ego card in the tarot, which could tie back to this Virgin's milk understanding, okay? Yeah, and the Sun here as well. Sun and Moon, I'm really picking up for this reading as well. Sun Splendor, 2 birds here. Happiness, paradise, emotional fulfillment, peace, bliss. Okay, and then we have the opossum and peony with bashfulness. Another 8? No, sorry, 28, which is 10. All right, so 10 is all about completions, ends of cycles, and transformation. It's also Sun energy, which we were connected to as well. Sun can talk about enlightenment, clarity, joy, bliss, happiness, okay, but it's also ego and the shadow. Sometimes the Sun and the shadow element is so blinding. So blinding could be what, like intense swaying on a pendulum, because like superiority sits on a pendulum, or sits on, I should say, a spectrum, okay? And so it's either going to be completely to the polar extreme here. I'm better than everyone. This sort of an energy, even though we might not be saying it, acting as if to cover up some sort of insecurity that's on the other side of the pendulum that the ego creates in order to protect oneself to feel good enough, because you're not feeling good enough. Okay, bashfulness. So that is that. Does bashfulness mean shy? Yes. Reserved, hiding oneself, playing small, insecurity. Okay. Scorpio energy coming through. That's 10. And Leo. So clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of beautiful pile number 1, Spirit. What are we channeling here? What is it that pile 1 or the person, place, or thing around them is understanding in a way here that we can dive into the truth of that situation, circumstance, person? Hierophant in reverse, Taurus energy. And what is the truth? What does pile 1 need to know about this? What is the truth? What are we channeling? What does pile 1 need to know about this person, place, thing, understanding, experience for the greatest and highest good? Thank you so much, pile number 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'd like to thank your higher self, spirit, team, guides, angels, ancestors, and interdimensional beings for this act of divination. Thank you so much, Spirit, for this channel. All right, we have the Son of Wands. That's the Knight of Wands. And then we have the Moon in reverse, which we were really picking up from the other side of this coin. Cancer. 7 Pentacle. 2 Cups in reverse. There's the 2 energies I was tapped into. There's the number 8 that was tapped into. The Strength we were tapped into. The Ego we were tapped into. There's Chariot, Cancer energy. There's the integration of the shadow, the dark and the light that I was talking about with the horses. Okay, with Chariot, we always have the light and the dark. Not in this deck. In this deck, we have just 1 horse. 1 horse, not 2. So we're leaning somehow in some pendulum here. Here's a hermit. Know thyself. Get to the bottom of the truth. Go inwards. Reflection. Virgo, Leo, Cancer, Taurus, Cancer, Pisces, and Sun of Cups in the reverse. Okay. Wow. Strong energy here. 10 wands in the reverse. Okay. Just give me a minute to really, really get in this energy here. Okay, pile number one. I have a lot of questions, but a lot of this is coming through clearly, and I will channel that, and hopefully we get all that we need for this reading here, okay? Because there's some things that aren't 100% clear. And I do feel like some of you guys, this could be your energy, not for a lot of you guys, okay? But for some of you guys, and then for the bulk of you guys, this could be someone you're dealing with for sure. But it's up to you to sort of apply it, okay? But I always feel like whoever this is meant to be in this pile, whoever's clicked here, puts it on someone else and doesn't see it in themselves. And that's annoying. And it's only annoying because we're going to keep projecting, and it doesn't heal because everywhere that we see is coming from the inside. So there's something inside of you, regardless if it's someone you're dealing with, but this might not be the message to see your side of it. It may be. And that's probably the loose ends I was feeling here. Your energy could be in another pile as well. Okay? To really get to the bottom of it, you got to be really in tune with your own energy. Okay, but it's shadow for a reason. We don't see our own shadow. Okay, but I feel like this is going to be talking about why someone's acting the way that they're acting. Okay, so I'm going to channel it as this person. I hope I don't flip-flop it on you, but that's how it's going to come through. Okay, we're dealing with a person here who has a really deep-seated insecurity here, and how this is manifesting is in a way here that is like trying to cover up this insecurity in some way. I can't help it, like, fucking spirit, because, sorry, spirit, this is really coming through as a masculine and feminine energy. And I'm pretty sure I'm tapped into two people here. And I didn't figure I was going to get into a relationship reading this intensely, but I guess I opened this door. And this is how it's coming through, okay? There's like a mirroring going on here between a masculine and a feminine energy. And it's creating tension in a connection. It's not allowing there to be harmony. And the harmony can only come when we can really sit with the truth of who we are. Otherwise, we can't see the truth of the other person. What gets in this way of seeing our own truth, even if we want to? It's how we're going about understanding ourselves. The ego gets in the way, and it doesn't matter how convinced we are that we know what it is that we know. The ego comes through as something that we attach to in order to keep ourselves safe or / to keep a narrative going, because the alternative would open the door to too much pain. And that stands for both of these people. So there is somebody I do feel here that is leaning towards heavy self-worth issues in a way here that manifests as trying to prove themselves, acting greater than thou. And then I feel like there could be somebody here who's harping on the victim story, that's acting as though they're not good enough, or that they're isolated, or that they feel alone, or that they feel like they're not seen by the other here. but inside of them, there's a need to connect to the truth. And so I do feel both these people want to find a happily ever after here with the Sun Splendor, this 10 Cups. Harmony and bliss. And if we're swinging on two sort of sides of this spectrum, then we can't find a balanced union between two. So I feel like there is an energy here that's coming through as a Knight of Wands. And this Knight of Wands, by the way, some of you guys might tap into pile 3. I don't know why I'm having such a fucking annoying time reading this channel. Like, really? Okay, I'm going to have to ring the bell here because it's really distracting, okay? Give me a second. Okay. I'm going to try to read this. And I've never done this, but if this doesn't go away, I'm going to have to go redo this because this is very distorted, okay? So we have this Son of Wands energy, and this is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands acts out of impulse here. I feel like this Knight of Wands is coming through in two different ways again, which is hard to read. There's a big, massive suppression of deep emotional feels, which is stemming from fear, suppression, and I only know how to fire off on this cylinder. God forbid I go any deeper. It requires this person to surrender and to really sit with their emotions, okay? And to trust themselves. And maybe it's like, I can't allow myself to go there. And so I'm just sort of doing motions in some way here. And then I burn out. There's too much intensity here that overwhelms me. Yeah. And so what this is appearing like, because I feel like this is the type of person you're dealing with, okay, is somebody here who is really fucking annoying. I don't know what other word to use it. Because it's rubbing people off the wrong way, or you, I don't know, like in relationship. It's like if this person really had an insecurity, why are they like acting like an arrogant, annoying, better than thou energy? That's how they're acting. It's like there's nothing more annoying than a Knight of Wands, you know, who's like, thinks that they're right, and they're like inexperienced, they're annoying, they're like very surface, the ego gets in the way, they get bruised very easily, they're challenged by everyone and everything, they got to prove themselves. It's like exhausting. This person is having to heal this thing through a process of surrender and to be okay with feels. Because there's feels. And it doesn't say that because we feel, therefore, we're going to open the door to something that's so devastating. In fact, this person is going to be able to master themselves when they allow themselves to feel. It's almost like it's really this sort of really annoying energy. Like, let's say someone who thinks that they are like totally understanding the situation in themselves completely. They think they like master themselves, they know themselves, they're confident in themselves and all of this stuff. Meanwhile, there's a huge, big spotlight for everyone else to see how annoying this person is. And they can't see it themselves, you know? And they're too prideful and arrogant to humble themselves and say, whoa, like this thing that I wasn't seeing, I wasn't doing that on purpose, but I was proactively keeping alive this arrogant me, full well knowing that I'm in this energy. And I couldn't even stop to be neutral to say, maybe there's a possibility that there could be something gained, something learned, something deeper and something more meaningful in allowing myself to feel. But no, because this is stemmed from a very deep subconscious way of protecting that comes from ego. If I experienced something that made me feel any which way, where I felt out of control, threatened, vulnerable, exposed, never will I feel that again. But this is a weakness. This isn't a strength. And this is This, for anyone who does know themselves, which I feel is probably you on the other side, of course, unless this is your energy and someone's really distorting this channel, by the way. Okay, so if the receiving end of this energy, whoever's dealing with you, if this is you, okay, is annoyed as fuck with you and sees your big old shadow here. You don't look cool. You don't look impressive. You don't look all sexy. You look like a big person here who's annoying, who's missing the point. The main point. What's the main point here? The highest vibration of truth. Everything else is a distorted lower vibration. It's all from shadow, distortion. You could call it devil, ego, untruths, defensiveness. And just because we see something as real doesn't mean anyone else in the universe sees it as real. It's not real. So now we're really experiencing the effects of this person, and this person's really experiencing their own reality. So that's a reality that we're experiencing, but it means that the illusion itself isn't real. And I'm going to explain this in a different way because this is the truth you need to hear. Okay? So if I'm seeing something like a mirage, and I truly believe in my mind, it's a mental activity that I see that mirage as real, it isn't going to make that mirage all of a sudden be real. And it doesn't even mean that anyone else will see that mirage. And so this person is living as if the mirage is real. And when we connect it to personality, it's like by doing what I am doing, being like outwardly sort of acting confident or doing this, they think that this is like the answer, you know? It's like I'll hang on to the strength and the I don't know, the swagger and the whatever energy that I am, the coat that I'm wearing, and this will be okay. And this is like, that's the mirage. It's going to make me look good. It's going to make people respect me. It's going to make me more relatable. It's going to make me stay cool or avoid deeper truths or like, of course, no one wants to avoid a deeper truth, but it makes them avoid deeper truths because the alternative would be devastatingly too much for this person to be able to handle. But they'd never say, oh, it's too much for me to handle. No. Why? Because it's a bruise to the ego and it requires humility and it requires an authenticity. This person can't connect to authenticity, and anyone can sniff out an authenticity from a mile away. And it's not very pleasant. When someone's not authentic, it's doesn't smell good. And it doesn't mean, oh, this person is just so different and unique that they're sort of out on their own and no one understands them, and therefore it gives them the strength from that. It's like, and no, that means you're utilizing some distortion in order for you to maintain and support a mirage that isn't even true. So this is coming through, okay? Sorry, guys, I know how this is delivered. You can go to another pile if this is equally annoying to you. It's annoying to me. A rope, okay? A rope is a rope. That is the truth. Now, when the rope creates a knot, we might see the knot in isolation and say, the knot is true. The knot is true. But the knot is just the rope that is knotting. The knot cannot exist without the rope creating the knot. And so there is no knot. The distortion here is when something requires the truth in order to prop it up. That knot requires the rope to create a knot. But we don't say the knot itself exists. We see it with our eyes, so it looks like it exists, okay? We could feel the effects of the knot. Here it is. I see it. I feel it. But it is created because the rope creates the knot. And when we undo that knot, it's like one rope. Same thing with the wave in an ocean. There's no such thing as a wave. Yeah, we see it, but the wave will all of a sudden change shape and form and go back and displace itself into the ocean. The ocean's the truth. The wave is what the ocean is doing. It's waving. The rope is knotting. The mirage, the distortion. And so this is what we mean by illusion. It's temporary. It's manifestation in form, and then it disappears. The truth of this person is their divine light. The truth of this person is that they are worthy, that there is nothing that they need to prove or do or say. And the truth of this person is that there are They have emotions, just like everybody else. And so what's the big fat wound here is that the truth, I can't dance with the rope. I can't see the ocean. I'm too focused on the knot or the wave of who I am. And then I act as if that's me, and that gives me my strength. And imagine people who could see the ocean and see this little wave, thinking they're the wave, acting like they're the wave, doing this and then saying, look at me, how big I am. It's like, no, well, we all see the ocean. Look how little you are. Like acting. Meanwhile, it's like, no, you're actually can connect to the ocean. You're the only one who's not benefiting. You're the only one who's suffering here. You're the only one who has this distortion. Of course, other people in the universe have similar distortions, thinking they're the wave. But on the other opposite end, like I said, there's two sides here. The other receiving end of this is looking at this person like ridiculous. Of course, they're not going to judge this person, but it's ridiculous because they're not going to be pulled into their shadow and their fear and their own mind story. It's a mirage. They see right through it. It's like, no, you're just arrogant. You're fearful. You're acting like a little adolescent here. And you're trying to suppress and be all like, this is normal for you. Meanwhile, there's a big brewing underneath here that's requiring a surrender in order for this person to find harmony. Because I feel everyone wants harmony, whether it be however they see harmony. On the other side of their world, they want to experience bliss and happiness. They don't want conflict and misery. So who wants conflict and misery? No one's going to choose that. They want their environment, their relationships, their other side, their world, whatever it may be harmonious and to reflect peace, harmony, joy, love, whatever back to them. And nobody is going to reflect joy, love, peace, harmony back to this person at all. They're going to experience discomfort with people. They're going to experience annoying. They're going to experience a whole bunch of things that they don't like. Now, what I am really feeling, and this is why this whole thing went all fucking up in the air, was because I do feel there's two sides to this thing, and somebody here on the other side of this person is feeling the effects of this, and poor soul is having to go through with this annoying person. The other side, which could be you, by the way, and be just as lost in this wave, but not believing this person's story, but lost in this wave of, I see the ocean, and I could see the ocean that this person can be, but I'm lost in the wave because I feel like there is a need here to, I don't know, like engage with this person, or like I'm a part of this person's surrender process. There's a reflection that's happening here between these two people in order for this person to tap into their truth. But this person is defensive, hiding as in, even if they're out there, acting all confident, it's like their truth is hiding. The truth is hiding. This person is cowardly hiding here. And it could be masquerading as I know myself, or I'm like, whatever they do, but it's like, no, actually, you're just defensive and you're creating disharmony. And what you will experience here is not good. It's not good. Okay. And so I feel like this person has a very difficult time tapping into the truth vibration. And then they strengthen that distortion and create their own rules around this thing. And then they want the people and everything around it to sort of say, well, this is how I am. And it's like, no, you're wanting other people to buy your distortion, your pain body. And yes, you might have experienced the pain body here, but the other person isn't going to bend to this mirage. This mirage needs to be seen through. And the only person who could see the mirage is the person who carries it, who's perceiving it. So this person is acting very unruly here. And they're doubling down in this thing. And this person feels very uncomfortable when you pull away that power. It's not power, by the way. It's a perceived power. And that's what is so paradoxical about this. It's like the weakness is actually seen here. The thing in which this person is thinking that they're not seen, they think they're being seen as I don't know, suave, cool, strong, tough, blah, 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 and all these things. It's like, no, that's the mirage. No one sees them like this. They see them as probably annoying, disharmony, stubborn, doing their own thing. And then on top of it, saying they know themselves, acting guarded, defensive, seeing them as cowardly in some way here. It's like, no, you need to integrate the shadow. You're going nowhere fast. It's not going to produce anything but more disharmony. And it's like, yeah, but if I wear the other shoe, then I'm going to be like awkward there. It's like, yeah, that's what it requires everybody to dance with the awkwardness to find oneself. And if this person has been shoving their emotions and not being able to sort of allow themselves to sit with that discomfort, then they're going to be all acting very dysregulated here. And it's saying, yes, dysregulation, because we need to see the truth. We need to break away from the devil, and we need to consciously choose this. It's not going to shift. We have to be humble enough to say, hey, right here, right now, Spirit, I can choose to see this fearful side that I haven't before in order for things to be revealed to me. In order for me to actually see the blessings in front of me. This person is most likely taking you for granted. Now, if this is you, there's situations in your world that are not being supported by this sort of distorted energy at all. And as quickly as Spirit blesses us with gifts, Spirit can take gifts away. You know? But Spirit wants us to wake up. Spirit wants us to see truth. And Spirit is graceful. And Spirit knows that there is this person's time to wake up to the truth, to see beyond the illusion here. And so I feel this person is suffering. You know, even if they're acting like they're not, it's like, no, they're suffering. Underneath this, there's a suffering here. This person pushes out energy in order to deflect and protect and to get their strength from that sort of action. But it's an outward motion. It's not an inward motion, because inside what they would find is, and it's like, no, this is the truth. Then if you're that's the capacity in which this person could go inwards is the capacity in which this person's strength actually is. So if they could barely even sit with themselves for 2 seconds, then it's like, yeah, that's actually how weak you're appearing to the universe, to everyone around you, and to the reality. When the mirage is gone, it's like, look how weak this person can't even acknowledge this part, you know? So this is the shadow that needs to be transmuted. This person is hyper independent. This person believes that they're the only ones that they need, you know? Ask this person something, and this person sees themselves as sort of like the epitome of where the answer is. This ego is so built, so far and wide, that they can't see beyond themselves. And if you're the poor soul dealing with this person, it's almost like, am I even fucking chipping away at anything here? Like this person could double down on their ego, you know? It's like, is anything being learned? Is there any progress here? Is this even successful? Engaging, maybe holding a mirror or conversation with this person, or having them sort of, I don't know, like see this truth? Like, how is this even happening, Spirit? And so there's a message here. If you are on the other side of this thing, which I feel there's lessons to be learned as well, and I feel it's polar end, okay, which also isn't healthy, could be in another pile. I don't know, I didn't do the other piles, but the only thing, and this is my loose end here, because I don't feel like, oh, you're like this perfect thing, and then this person is all up in the shadow, because if we're seeing shadow, there's another shadow going on here, okay? Not getting into that can of worms, because that threw me right off, but it is giving you a message here that's very clear. And it's saying, if you're feeling like this person is sort of up in your world in some way, and I do feel for you, because holy frick, you know, it's like the stubborn person who is really fixated on this. Understanding is all from a protective standpoint of egoic protection, and it's an outward energy, and it's a maintaining of this thing, and it's this at all costs, and I can't see beyond me, and it's like, how do you deal with someone like this? And Spirit's saying, you only need to work through a process of surrendering and doing what you can do, and allow yourself to confront whatever you need to confront when it comes to dealings with this person. And Spirit will do the rest. This person's going to see the truth. Whatever's in the fear's body's coming forward. And no matter how long this person's been in denial or this thought story, their job is to come to a surrender, because they're going to hit a breaking point here where all this fear and all of this suppressed emotion that they think that they don't need to sit with, or that they, I don't know, think that they're the only different person in the whole universe that has a hole where it's all going to fall through and they'll never have to face it. All this stuff is going to bubble up. The straw breaks the camel's back and it spews out. And so instead of allowing oneself to sort of go through it, it's like the spewing of this thing is not going to be pleasant. So we might be experiencing just this like surface person, in the meantime here, which is really sort of, like I said, annoying. 8 swords, lost, imprisoned by their own thoughts of themselves and the mirage they believe is real with this 8 swords. And so who suffers here? They do. That's the truth. They suffer. They believe the mirage. But I feel for you, because if you're in their world, it's like they're trying to act as if the mirage is true. And it's like, how can I engage when I know this mirage is not true? And we can't tell them. Like, this is the truth. You can't have a conversation with this person to tell them the truth. Look at the mirage. It's not. It's like, no, the more they see it, the more they think that mirage is existing. It's not. And I think you want happiness and harmony, and that this person can find some sort of truth. And it's like, yeah, but their truth can only be found through their own reflection of surrender and going inwards. And when will they go inwards? When they keep going out and experience the kaboom, because I feel this person is going to experience a kaboom here. Whatever they're doing isn't going to work. Whatever they're doing here, they're going to find is going to lead them somewhere. But wherever it does lead them to, it's not going to be to joy and bliss. It's like finally when they get close enough to that mirage, the mirage starts to dissipate. And it's like, oh, what happened to the beautiful body of water that I thought I saw here? And then they find themselves in a desert, And this is what I meant by what Spirit gives, Spirit can definitely take away here. Because it's only so long on the road we can go by the time the mirage starts to make sense or be seen. And then devastation hits us. It hits us, because it's like I was going, I don't know how many kilometers down the road, passing whatever I could have, maybe other things on the side that could have helped me. And I was just like focused on this mirage. And I got to that dry spot in the desert and the mirage disappeared. And now it's nighttime and I can't see shit. Okay, well, humble yourself. So there's a need here to be connected to truth consciously. So if this person is asleep, no matter how much they might think that they are in tune, there's massive healing this person needs to do. This person is very uncomfortable with emotions. This person is very uncomfortable expressing emotions. This person is very much, and it's not even uncomfortable. There's a great deep fear here, and there's a blockage. And so this person cannot be welcomed, cannot experience harmony with another on a deep, profound, intimate level here. And if they're not wanting it, don't need it, don't want it, I can't commit, It's like, okay, that is indeed the mirage. That we hang on to that as though we created that belief. We created that. I'm choosing not to go in emotion. I'm choosing. No, we're not choosing. What's choosing? The fear? The subconscious abandonment wound? The deeper subconscious of feeling not loved, misunderstood. And then we cover it up with this masculine energy. That's devil. Devil. Defensiveness, totally not understanding oneself, furthest removed from truth, living in some sort of fantasy of illusion of themselves, which they pull their strength from. Like, when I get to that mirage, And then we have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. 10 of Wands in reverse. So 10s are all about endings. This person cannot create stability. This person probably has a big fear of commitment. This person feels very ungrounded. This person feels fleeting, feels temporary, and it feels like somebody here who obviously feels passion, who obviously feels desire. And so it's like, how do I reconcile that? Because with the passion, then it's like there's a deeper sense of emotional truth and love and stuff that comes online with emotions. So it's like, how do I find balance between these two things? Because I have to acknowledge one thing in order to partake in another, other than like cherry pick. And in the meantime, it's like how they're behaving is this like better than thou energy that I don't feel this person knows that they're giving off. Like they don't think that. They think that they're giving off this like really tough exterior, like I'm cool or I'm attractive or this gives me strength. This keeps me in control. This only shows the part of me that I know that I'm only showing because I'm choosing that, and no one's going to see this other part that is going to be making me seem weak or make me feel out of control or make me feel like I don't like that feeling. It's like, okay, we could not like it. It doesn't mean anything. It's like, I don't like to, maybe we could say I don't like to drink water because it feels weird in my throat. Okay, well, then you're the only sufferer of the not drinking water. It's a deeper wound here of some itchy thing in your throat that's going to create this suffering for you, and then you wither away and die. So it's like, this person believes their story that they're the only ones that can't drink water. They're the only ones. And no one understands this thing. It's like, no, actually, millions of people understand this thing. And this isn't special. This is a weakness. This is not good for this person in the long run because it's further away from truth. It's a distortion. It's not harmonious. People see this person as arrogant, defensive. And I feel like this person's like, I'm not giving up, or I'm strong, or the more I'm like this, the stronger I am. So this is a protective mechanism this person's using, and they think it's giving them strength, or the stronger they hold on to this, it's like, then they'll be okay. Then they'll be seen, or then something will shift. And it's like Spirit is saying, the only way to get closer to the truth through this ascension process is to face the fear. The fear is the emotion. The fear is that in which we're not facing, and that's the only way to get there. And it hurts. So it's like the only way to get there is through pain, unfortunately, because this would be painful for this person to do this, but that's the only way to get to the truth. That's the only way for this person to be free. The only way for this person to see the truth is to go through the ouchies to get to the truth, and that's dealing with the fears. They're like defensive, guarded, most likely not moving from here, and then reinforcing this thing of theirs, and it's getting in the way of movement. I feel this person could be someone who's quite psychic as well, but that's the anomaly here. It's like, I'm psychic, but I'm so far from seeing the truth of this, like, part of me, I don't know why I'm like super annoyed with this person here, but let's see. Spirit, give me grace to allow myself to understand a little bit more here about what's going on with this person. So what do we need to know about pile 1, this person, this experience? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Please protect me and the viewer and this person as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good. What is it that pile 1 specifically needs to know about this? Please allow me to channel in a way that pile 1 will understand what is being communicated for the greatest and highest good. What is the truth, and what is it that this person believes? They believe the knot in the rope. All right. Mother of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. There's that Leo again, strength. Son of Wands, Knight of Wands again, 2 Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. There's that single horse that was pulling the chariot. Could do it myself. No, can't do it yourself. Yeah, Seven Swords, big fat lie. There's the mirage and there's the freaking devil. Okay. Usually when I feel these energies in my reading, I'm not surprised to see devil energy. Okay, there's the Fool under that, the Aquarius. So Capricorn, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Leo. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, so beautiful angel, I think your energy might be in a different pile here, okay, because I do feel I'm raining for whoever you're dealing with, but I do feel that there is somebody here who this applies to. Okay, but for the rest of you guys, this Mother of Cups is the only way that this person is going to connect to the truth, because at the core of everyone is the same truth, is the rope. The one layer of consciousness is true. What's going on behind the ego, behind the fears, is like we connect to the truth of who we are. And so I feel like you're mirroring to this person through your love, through the way you can emotionally express. This person is seeing emotional expression, grace, love as a threat to them. I can't do that, so I'm going to say my strength or my thing. It's like, no, you can't do this because you're not in an energy here to allow this truth to come forward. But this is your truth. This is all our truth. Our truth is heart-based consciousness. Our truth is allowing our emotions to be felt and be able to sit with the emotion without getting all about it. If we need to force it, resist it, change it, avoid it, do whatever we do with it, other than just feel it, then we know that we have a challenge here that's knocking on our door, because that's the only thing that's going to build something solid in the 3D. If we're needing to build something that's going to stand the test of time, it must be from truth, love, and emotions that are based on real foundation here. This will open the door to a new beginning. We have to be conscious enough, though, to go down this path and see what happens. But normally, to see what happens and to be this vulnerable, look at this chick flying off this branch for the first time. It takes a lot of courage. And the courage and the energy in order to face this is from the heart. That's the only way to build this. Everything else is a big lie, and it's coming from devil, 8 swords, ego, illusion, whatever you guys want to call it. Okay? And so this understanding that I can't, or that whatever, is a lie. So I feel like this person, where they're pulling their strength from is actually a codependent behavior. And it's actually showing the weakness of this person, because this person is not in a position to sit with their own energy, to be confident in their own energy, to build with their own energy. And as long as they're not in a 9 pentacle, then they can't create the 10. They lack self-confidence. They're not able to stand on their own. They're too hyper-independent, too unstable. And I think this person dips between the world that they know, that appears like strength, but it's the mirage, and then being pulled into, maybe there is something here. And it's like, yes, because what they're feeling is glimmers of truth, glimmers of love, glimmers of gratitude, glimmers of spirit, glimmer of love, and not a devil and ego and shadow and fear. And so there's these two worlds that seem very real, and this person is like attaching to the world that gives the appeared strength or control. But it's like, no, that means we're just giving into the defensiveness so that we don't have to face the fear. And we continue to stay chained to an unhealthy energy, and we continue to be unavailable, and we continue to perpetuate this lack of self-confidence, and we continue to be avoidant. We continue to self-lie and lie to others. And like I said, everyone can see it. Like, look at this. This fox thinks he's hiding the sword, but it's like everyone can see it. And when I say everyone, like you, I don't know. I'm pretty sure anyone can see it, you know? And that's the part that I'm finding really frustrating. It's like this person thinks like, I don't know, like this energy is going to get them somewhere. It's like, no, we see it. It doesn't look good. It's annoying. It's destructive to them and to everyone around them. It makes them look dysregulated. It makes them look like they're lacking confidence. It makes this person appear not good. So this person has a very hard time being vulnerable, so much so that it's distasteful. And there's so much strength in being vulnerable. There's so much strength in standing in one's emotional truth here and building with that emotional truth. It's like the emotional truth is the thing that's going to build. The rest of it is just going to keep this person little, ungrounded, lacking confidence, wobbly, untrustworthy, because people aren't going to trust this type of an energy if they can't even trust them to manage their own energy, because they could see through it. They could see this person's unhealthy ways of being. This person could certainly even use coping mechanisms. I feel there's a tie again to pile 3 coming through again with the snake and the snake button and the coping, because I feel like there's some sort of an addiction. Cover up, could be substance abuse, could be a way that we cope with this whole thing. Like, for sure, they cope with their lack of being able to feel in a certain way that's annoying, but I feel like it's also manifesting in different ways that are actually not healthy for this person. And the real truth here is that this person thinks they're free acting this way, like they're making conscious choices. It's like, no, you're not free to act. The thing that's acting is the wound, the fear, the pushing it out so that I stay on the trajectory of push out, push out, push out. All I'm doing is pushing out fear. If I was still, then I have true freedom. Then everything opens up. It's like, do I want to go there? 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 It's like, it's all open. But this is like, I'm just like moving, trudging along the wrong path. The chariot has one horse. It's moving them in one direction. That's not freedom. That's not being able to be independently choosing where we want to go because the confidence is there. That's like, my fear is driving me in one direction and one direction only. And even then, that direction is stagnancy. That direction is stuckness. That direction is not their truth. That direction isn't in consciousness. That direction is not in happiness, not in alignment. That direction is nothing but supporting a mirage. And they'll stay there until they get tired with that 10 of Wands. They will continue to sort of do that. But at some point in time, Spirit slaps reality into this person and says, do you know that you've been living a lie? Do you know that you've been acting in a way here that has been keeping you trapped? And I'm trying to show you through way of presence, mirroring to you what love and truth looks like, what emotional, what safety there is in emotional vulnerability, what strength there is in emotional vulnerability. And instead of being able to acknowledge this or attempt this, we double down in the lie. And we even know that it's not true on a certain level because it doesn't feel good. It feels not good. If we feel not good, then it's a not good what we're doing. So, I don't know, this feels like a very deep sort of showings of truth that's coming online for this person to deal with this block. And you're somehow involved if you resonate as this not being your energy. And I feel like you could definitely be, holding the mirror of truth here, showing this mirage to this person. So I'm going to close out this reading because, like I said, it's very draining here. What you need to know. What does pile 1 need to know then about this person? Can I close out this reading? This truth. And you might be like, I already knew this, But I think there's a part of this dynamic that's maybe not clear. And I feel it's coming from that where things are at here, because it feels like this person is heavily stuck on that mirage, so much so that's like, I feel like giving up. I don't know what to do. And it's like, no, we can't do anything for this person. The only thing we can do is open our heart. That's it. Period. End of story. Emotionally express, hold a vibration of truth and love consistently, not pulling it away, not creating conflict, not pulling it back to us as a reflection of us. I'm rejected. I'm unworthy. Okay. Because like I said, there might be a mirroring here that we're experiencing the opposite. emotionally dysregulated, completely taking it personal. Then it's like this person's acting better, so they must be. Like, whoa, that's another massive distortion. Some other universe. Don't get me started with that, okay? I'm not seeing Judgment in reverse, Ten of Wands in reverse again. Surrender once we see the truth, and the Eight of Swords. Free us from our mind prison. Why is Judgment here in the reverse? It's the process of ascension that happens through truth and clarity. That's what surrender is here, you know? But as long as we believe what we believe, we're trapped here with the untruth. And Spirit says, you want to believe in the mirage? Go ahead. You want to believe in the trap? You want to believe in the thing that isn't moving? You can do so, but it keeps you stagnant, it keeps you stuck, and it keeps you sort of suffering here. Only the truth will free you. And the truth is in line with gratitude, love, and not in fear and avoidance and suppression. It's trying to push itself out here. Okay? 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune. 10, 10. And then we have 20 here. So transformation, ends of cycle, completion. There's the universe coming in to say, I'm going to put certain situations in front of you that are going to require you to see the truth and wake up from this lie, this mirage, through a process of surrender. And it's going to happen one way or another. It's going to happen because change is the only constant. And so your universe is always going to be pushing you towards truth, towards revelation when it comes to misbeliefs, because eventually the mirage disappears because the sun changes, it gets darker out, we get closer to that we see it's not. Like, it eventually gets revealed to us, you know, when we're on that road. It doesn't always maintain the mirage. It's because either we consciously make steps towards it and it shifts, or we could stand there looking at the mirage all day and then the sun goes down and then it changes. But one way or another, it's going to change and be seen here that there's this big illusion. And it's keeping us feeling very limited here, okay? But I feel like through the process of surrender, there's this rebirth, there's this truth, there's this potential, and I feel the potential is beautiful. Yeah, it's a change of self that happens in this process for sure. It's very personal here, okay? It's not only just allows this person to move forward and free from these thoughts, I feel it's self-transforming. Why is this 10 of Wands here in the reverse? This card of surrender. I'm feeling so overwhelmed. And I feel this person might be overwhelmed by passion and intensity. Yeah, the truth. What did I say? I said for some way or another, the mirage is going to be seen for what it is. This is the thief returning its swords. The thief returns its swords. It gets caught in the act. Only through surrender can we see the truth. And so this is what Spirit says. You don't know, but the truth is going to come forward. The truth is going to be seen and understood in a way here that's going to create this a reality to shine through here. Okay, but it does require a process of surrendering. Father of Swords, and then the Devil here. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Capricorn energy, and there's the Ace of Wands, and then 10 Cups, which is this. Okay, so Miracle Angels. Although this person is really annoying to me, which probably is really annoying to you as well, what Spirit is talking about here is, regardless of their mind story, which is based on untruths, there is a truth that stands the test of time. This person has true desire here, and there is an ability for this person to find peace and happiness, and this is within their community with people, okay, but they can experience a two-cup harmony in order to create a world that's peaceful and blissful with the people around them for a happily ever after. And I feel this person does desire this. This is true. Like I said, who doesn't desire this? Who doesn't want to move in this direction? But the freedom to do so, to reach a happily ever after, to be able to pursue one's desires and align themselves with this, can only come through a process of surrender and going through the tunnel that they fear so much so is the only way to get them here. So they got to be honest. They got to surrender. They got to allow themselves to flow with the universe. They got to be open to see the truth. Okay, now we could say, well, they're not. It's like, no, they're not. They're not, and they haven't been. But when the universe is involved, the sun can't be controlled. The truth remains the truth, whether we believe in illusions or not. Those things that are illusions cannot control or morph the truth to what they want to believe. The truth is always going to be revealed. And when this time comes that the truth is revealed, this person is going to see exactly what it was that was keeping this person stuck. They're going to see exactly what it was that this person was believing that was untrue, because it'll be shown to them. They're going to then see, like, on that road, there was no mirage here. And I was like this thing, and it's like a greater purpose of being the butterfly than like remaining little in that little cocoon and feeling trapped and like dependent on the coping mechanism and keeping myself sort of little and all that stuff I experienced. Whoa, how freeing and liberating is this other world that I never even tried, of expression, sitting with truths, facing that fear. The bigger fear was me actually doing it, but when I did it, it was liberating. When I did it, it freed me. When I did it, I saw the truth. When I did it, I understood it all. And it changed their perspective. It will change their perspective. It's going to change their perspective about why they do what they do. It's going to free them from unhealthy coping mechanisms. It's going to allow them to see themselves from a deeper level of really understanding why they block themselves, why they limit themselves, why they haven't reached their full potential, why they're toxic, or why they're attached, why they're abusive, why they're fill in the blanks, whatever this person is, you know? Because I feel when we're in that energy, it's like, yes, we impact everyone around us, but the biggest impact is to ourselves. It's really giving me like almost like teenager energy here, you know, because it's a spiritual immaturity is really what it is. It doesn't matter if we're 80 years old here, or if we're like 20 years old, or if we're like 80, 30, 40, I don't care how old this person is. It's like spiritual immaturity because of what we are not humble enough to say, I don't know here, and to change your perspective, and then to see that is the honest truth. Because you don't want to admit your parent was right or someone knew better than you. And so it's like, I'd rather be right here and then maintain little and annoying and destructive. But why does a teenager sort of do this? Yes, you can argue with them and they'll convince you they're right, but inside there's pain. Inside there's a deeper truth that they know that maybe I'm not, but I'm going to fight on that hill. Because when I fight and I win, it gives me strength. Meanwhile, it's like, no, we're actually protecting some form of a deeper sort of needs to be proven right, so we feel valued, so we feel worthy, so we feel like it gives us some form of I don't know, like some form of like identity, so we can stand on that, and then we feel stronger with that. But it's like we can't stand on untruths, we can't stand on illusions and then act as if that's right, because then that's shaky ground. Those are untruths. And so if this teenager believes that they're like a unicorn here, they could believe it all they want, but nobody's going to say, okay, just so we don't hurt your ego, we're going to treat you like one, and you can go eat grass and you can go fly around, and we're going to see that too and tell you that you are. It's like, no, that doesn't help this person. This person needs to see the truth of who they are. And who they are is someone who's capable of facing the fear and sitting with uncomfortable emotions and sitting with whatever pops through here without pushing it out, lying to themselves, pretending they don't feel it, or saying things like, I'm just like this, or I don't need that, or that's this, or that's that. And it's like, yes, they could be experiencing it, but it doesn't make it right. It's like saying, that's a castle over there, that's the ocean. It's like, no, that's a mirage. And they could say, that's a mirage, I see a castle. That's a mirage, I see a body of water. That's a mirage, I think I'm right. But I know that that's just what I'm seeing or thinking. And I know that it stemmed from some pain body. And I know that there's something greater that I cannot see. Okay, this takes a big person, because even a teenager wouldn't say this. There's something I cannot see. This is, I'm really getting humility, gratitude, being humble, connecting to the truth. And even if they can't see it now, it's like, I'm willing to see it. I'm willing to admit it. I'm willing to be open to it. And then it starts to emerge here. But if we're so fixed, if we're so attached, if we're so sticking to that story, and everything we say and do is based on that mirage, because come hell or high water, I'm going to prove that I'm I don't know, independent or whatever this thing is. This is like, no, well, you have more strength in truth than you do in illusion. Surrender this lie. It's not helping and it's not protecting. I feel this person thinks they're protecting themselves. It's like, I'm protecting myself, right? It's like, no, you're exposed and it doesn't look good on you. And it's limiting and it's toxic and it's not good. Any which way I slice it, it's like, do we want to feel this or do we want to feel this beautifulness? And they would say, I want to feel this. It's like, okay, well, it's available to you, but you must do this. You can't do this and then get here and think you're going to get here by your own means. It's like, no, you're not. This requires truth and clarity. This requires an authenticity. This does not require any of this other stuff. Okay? So, I don't know. I'm giving you the spiel, but like I said, maybe your energy's in another pile here, okay? So this is what I have here for pile number 1. I hope this helped you. I'll see you at the next one. All right, bye-bye. Pile number 2, you guys pick conversion, and we have card 66, and we have the button, oopsie, the button that says no, and like I was saying, I was getting that Bugs Bunny meme with the mouth that says no. Firm boundary, maybe? All right, so 66 coming through twice. Service is a source of joy in which one pours from an overflowing cup, not martyrdom. So it might have something to do with understanding where we're martyring ourselves, or maybe some form of boundary or something where maybe we have a boundary in place, or we're trying to do something here, or rejecting something, resisting something like this. Okay, conversion as your blind spot. So let's tap into this energy and how this comes through and see what it is that we believe something to be like, or what this person believes to be true, and what is the actual truth. Okay, whether this is your energy, someone, something around you, it's up to you to apply it. Okay, and one was very challenging for me to read, so let's dive into this energy together. All right, so we have Mercury. This is communication and thought. This is communication, something about words being spoken here. Maybe we need to express our truth in some way here. The number 3. 3 is half of 6 here. 66 is 12, which is 3. Lots of 3s. So 3s, growth, relationships, initial success. 3s are all about creativity, joy, communication, and self-expression. So yeah, self-expression is coming through very strong for this pile. Okay, and then we have smoke, 22. No, I'm so sorry, 32, which is number 5. This came out yesterday. I recorded, and it didn't take, but this was in one of the piles here. This is smoke card. So where there's smoke, there's fire. Fire can represent life force energy. Okay, interesting. Virgo, Gemini. I think there might be a lack of fire, if I got to be honest here. Okay, and then we have the Cayman and Poppy with dreams, number 20. Dreams. All right, and then we have the cardinal signs of Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn. All right, so I'll hold this up so you guys can see. It says initiative. So it's that fire sign. Initiative is this fire. Okay, I'm feeling a lack of fire here. Oops, I just flipped it over. So we have manipulation, unfaithfulness, dishonesty, trickery, revenge, deception, and competition. Type 6, the loyalist thinking center between mistrust and trust. 78, 6 and 3, disintegration. I'm feeling a 5 wands from this manipulation, although manipulation could be a 7 sword for sure. I'm feeling a reverse magician with this trickery, and reverse magician could be an inability to manifest. Like we all can manifest, but manifest that in which requires some form of initiative. And I don't feel like this is a bad manipulation, but I feel like we're manipulating our manifestations by believing something that is not true about ourselves. Yeah. Okay, this is very clear. So, manipulation. Okay, I'm going to pull the tarot here and then I'll just channel what it is. But your message is super clear. I think this came through. I don't know, all these are blending in together. 9 of Swords, anxiety, fears, limiting beliefs, anticipating the worst. But I feel this message came through, and I don't know if it was yesterday's reading that I didn't post because it didn't record, or if I did channel this for you. It's coming through again here. It's like a childhood dream, of believing in self to get somewhere, and we're letting the fears get in the way of this. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, 7 of Pentacles in the reverse, 10 Swords. So 9 Swords, 10 Swords, lots of air, being in her mind about it. Giving up something like this, more air. Mother of Swords is the Queen of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Why is 9 Sword here? Why is the 9 Swords here? 6 Swords, more swords, getting out of that energy that's creating this. 5 of Cups, challenge, missing out, feeling disappointed. Clear and concise message for pile number 2. Spirit, please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Pile 2, I'd like to thank you for being here, your higher self, spirit, guides, ancestors, and angels for this active divination. Thank you so much. Father of Cups in the reverse. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and then we have the 3 of Wands and the 2 of Cups in the reverse. Okay, a very interesting energy. Well, not interesting, but I don't know what I'm saying. Okay. Let me just sit here with this before I write it off as something that's come through here all the time. Pile number 2, this, like I say, it could be you, could be someone around you. I feel like it's you that I'm talking to about this whole thing, okay? But it could be someone around you. I feel like your biggest enemy is yourself. Of course, if this is your energy. What is this challenge here? You believe the lie, the fear, the illusion that you can't get something off the ground or do something here. That something is over or you're incapable of doing it, you know? This doesn't stem from anywhere but inside. And if we're a reverse magician, you know, not by choice, but it's an energy vibration that we consciously are choosing because we could stop the wheel of thought. That power is always within us. Stop the wheel of thought so that we can change frequencies of the channel. This channel is attached to fear, anxiety, doubt, cannots, will nots. This will happen, that will happen. Shoulda, woulda, couldas. Then I miss out. Then I'm disappointed. And I'm not creating the thing that I want to create. So I think the mind speak here is saying you cannot. And we're needing to be an alchemist and convert the energy from a cannot, will not, have not, did not, should not, will not, because of all these reasons: competition, lack of self-know-how, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, an inability to communicate, a lack of strength, or all of this stuff do we believe. And we're very pessimistic about this, but we want it. And it's saying the truth. To get out of this energy and not create the thing that you really, really want is to first recognize what you're telling yourself and then know that your dreams are possible, not from a wishy-washy sort of way of, oh, dreams are possible here, as long as you sort of hold a belief in that belief of like, that the dream exists somewhere in the future. No, that's not going to change. The belief has to be converted at the base level. Why is it that I believe that there's a block from me and that in which I want right now? And because that is the challenge. There is no block from what you want right now. The only thing that's keeping you away from what you want right now is the energy you're in right now, which is this energy that's not conducive to building this thing. You're not seeing the truth of your dream being at your fingertips right now. There's something here for you to be able to build that's very harmonious. And for some of you guys, it could be going after that person, that relationship, or that childhood dream, or create that project. It's going to open doors for you. That is not going to come to you. That dream doesn't fall from the sky. Your energy vibration here is saying no to that, in which you want. I don't think you realize how much your energy is saying no. It's saying no because what you are creating is, Spirit doesn't know the words you're using. You could be using words of, yes, I want it. I have this big idea. I'm enthusiastic. I dream about it all the time. But it's like, what words are you using? Because the words you're using is actually pushing this out to the future, because you're showing up here, of course, if it's your energy, as someone with a lot of anxiety about what would happen, could happen, things going wrong, me not being in a position to do it. I'm more focused on those things. And those are the things that have to sort of come to an end in order for us to see the truth. That energy vibration must be done with. Not because those things are never true and they're never gonna could happen. Yes, all those things can happen. And you can also just walk outside your door and be hit by a bus, God forbid. So many things can happen. Everything under the sun can happen. You're right. But that has nothing to do with you aligning with this dream. And I think the ultimate truth here is the dream in which you're wanting to align with here, which will open the doors to your growth spiritually, physically, emotionally. I feel like your heart's tied to this thing. It's like, do you want this manifestation? How bad do you want it? If you want it really bad, which I feel you do, then this is the only way through to manifest this thing, is to put an end to that in which we're thinking is a cannot and a will not. And then we go and close our eyes and dream about a better time. It's like the dream itself not going to do anything. So there's an urgency here to cut beyond the smoke. I also feel like, yes, this came in yesterday's reading that I didn't post because I recorded for 2.5 hours and it never recorded. And it was really annoying. And I don't know why my computer's been doing this lately, but I had to sort of let it go and be the thing. This is totally the energy that was channeled. I was seeing, and I'm seeing it again. There's a sword, okay, the sword of truth, which is this Mercury and this communication. And this sword can cut 2 ways. The sword can create a lot of damage, can cut, okay, but it can also provide truth and clarity depending on how we yield that sword. And this sword was like going like around and around and around. And so I was seeing like a ceiling fan almost, and the ceiling fan sort of clears out smoke. When it's too smoky, we put the fan on so that the smoke can go away. Okay, but because it's the sword that I was seeing like cutting around, it's like the truth is the only way for one that's going to clear this smoky environment here that obviously isn't good for us, because if we're in smoke too much, we can't breathe very well. We can't see very well. There's a need to move. There's a need to take action. Can't stay in a smoky room without it sort of overburdening our lungs or whatever here. And so the only way to do this is through that sort of truth. But the truth doesn't mean the truth of what I believe, the truth of what I think. And this is why you're here, because we believe something, it doesn't make it true. If I believe really truly that I am a unicorn, and I believe it because ever since birth, I don't know, I like made up a story, and then my parents started to like just support that delusion. And then when I'm an adult, I'm out eating grass, I'm out really thinking this belief. It's like nobody else is going to see me as this unicorn or like validate that unicorn story. They might be nice to me, they may not want to hurt my feelings, but it doesn't make me a unicorn. So this is saying your belief in whatever it is not true. And so there is a truth that the person who thought they were a unicorn was actually a person here, but they're needing to see it and connect to it. So there's a truth you're needing to connect to. And as long as it's smoky, you can't see the truth. And you could keep repeating the same negative, pessimistic mind speak. Can't, won't, didn't, hasn't, maybe in the future, one day. All of that stuff is the I believe I'm a unicorn speak. That speak has to totally shift and change. And it has to start because if I turn the ceiling fan on, the smoke doesn't all of a sudden disappear. The ceiling fan has to be on for some time. Then the smoke dissipates. Then I start to see better. Then it sort of goes clear. But I don't turn the fan and all of a sudden the smoke is gone. So I feel like if we give some sort of positive reinforcement, or we see glimmers of truth, and then it's like, whoa, the smoke is still here, so it means it's untrue. Or I could turn the ceiling fan because it's not doing anything. Or I could go back into the old way of thought because that little truth that I did see, or that truth that I kind of believed, but it didn't do anything and the smoke is still really thick. It's like the truth has to keep yielding its truth over and over and over and over until it becomes clear, because the truth is still truthful here. But if we keep going back 10 days out of the week, or 10 days of the week, 10 days out of the month, I'm like this unicorn. And one day I'm like human. And then the other 10 days I'm like confused. It's like the smoke won't dissipate. But if I know that I am this human, even though I might not feel like it, I still want to fall back into the unicorn ways. It's like I still have to maintain that persistent energy. Persistent. And you can ask anyone that's accomplished their dream, well, how did they get there? With the persistency. They didn't fall back into fear, anxiety, self-speak, doubt. They knew like they knew like they knew. Eventually, it's going to turn. Eventually, it's going to be the thing. But where that originates is this initiative. Like they have to first turn that ceiling fan on. Nobody turns that fan on but you. This isn't done by anybody else. And it's saying once you turn that fan on, sorry, I know the analogy, but it's really a metaphor for the thought that you hold, that vibration and what you tell yourself is in your hands. And the pattern that we have and have built over time is really ingrained in us, so much so that it creates a reality, and we could just unconsciously go back to those negative self-speaks over and over and over and keep that reality going. And it's like once you turn the fan on, maybe you have a faulty fan. Okay, of course it's not faulty, but it's it has the habit of turning itself back off. Then you're like, whoa, the smoke is building again. And turn the fan on, turn the fan on. So it takes a conscious, aware person to stand by that fan and be like, well, there goes that fan. I'm going to turn it back on. And then it's like the fan goes off. Whoop, I'm going to go turn it back on. And it's annoying. Nobody wants to stand by the fan all day turning it on. But eventually, I'm going to keep turning the fan on. And the fan stays on longer. The smoke dissipates more. And it becomes the habitual pattern here. I think you're needing to put an end to self-speak, pessimism, negative stories that happen in the mind where we're not seeing the truth. And we sort of give up on ourselves before we've even got going or even know what it is that we're supposed to do. So what you're supposed to do, it will come to you. How to nurture this thing will come. And I feel we're sort of throwing in the towel saying, well, at this stage, I don't know, this is and this and this and this are missing. And it's like, yes, at this stage, you're absolutely right. But the initiative is saying, at this stage, I don't know, but I will be shown and I will see. And Spirit saying, yes, you will. But you have to turn that fan on and you'll only see once the smoke dissipates. You're not going to see that in what you're wanting to see right now. It can't happen. You need to turn the ceiling fan on first. That's the first step here. And we're wanting the smoke to go away first, and then I'll see it, and then it'll be okay. It's like, no, it doesn't work this way. So I feel like there's a lot of not seeing the truth here because of maybe we're frozen in thought, okay? We're really doubting ourselves, our position, and our capacity, and what can be good, and we were spending too much time there, and it just reinforces that channel. It's like change the channel, meaning get out of that room. It's too smoky here. Okay, like in order for you, I don't think you could leave this room actually, but what you can do is turn the fan on. This is what I feel. I feel like the fan needs to be turned on so the smoke can dissipate, and so you could sit in there as it just starts to billow. Or we could just keep turning that fan on until it shifts and changes. And that's really your only option, unless, of course, you want to over smoke yourself and miss out. And once you feel like you want to align with something here, you definitely don't want to sit in a smoky room, that's for sure. So I think you're wanting to move out of this whole thing. But I feel like the lies that we believe or hold, the trickery here, the deception that's happening is that we're telling ourselves one thing that's not true, and then we're not intervening and keep switching it. And I don't know, like, why there feels to be an urgency. Maybe we might have a time, like the window of opportunity seems like it's closing. Maybe you know this. Okay, but I don't know. Or maybe you feel like there's a lot of competition, like there could be imposter syndrome here or something like this. And maybe the trickery manipulation is I'll just convince myself then that I don't want it so that it makes me feel better. Because like seeing the smoke here and being in this is torturous, But it's like if I fall asleep, it doesn't mean the smoke disappears, but at least then maybe I go to sleep peacefully, but I still don't deal with the problem or have the answer to the solution. I feel like there's something here about what you truly want, what you feel, what connects to your soul. There's a suppression, or there's a truth that's not being honored. There's a clarity that needs to sort of be embraced, and there's an ability for you to move forward towards it, and there's a harmony to be had. There's alignment to be seen and understood and moved towards. And I feel like we're just sort of rolling over here with the cannots and it did not and it won't, and then anticipating what it would be and what it could be and how it should go. And then I just dream about a better day and a better future. It's like, use this energy to initiate a change, to drive something different here. I feel like you're going to birth something beautiful here. You're creating something beautiful here. I feel like this is requiring you to also be honest. I don't think you're being honest. I don't know if you're needing to say, I want this thing out loud to you, or out loud to, I don't know, your employer, or out loud to the universe, or to just like be comfortable with knowing that you want it and saying it, like not avoiding that you want it, because I feel like there's this energy that comes with it, is like, if I don't go after it, and if I do want it inside and it sort of aligns, then okay, good. But it's like, if I say I want it and then I don't get it, or I fail, then it's like, oh, everyone knew that I wanted it and it didn't happen. And then it makes it worse, And it's like, no, I don't want it. No, I'm not aiming for it. No, it's okay. Like, are you sure about this? Because that energy vibration is the thing that's keeping you away from this thing. That's the thing that needs to end. It's like, no, claim it. Say you want it. Convert this energy that feels very, more lower vibration into something that will align you to that in which you want. Because I feel like what Spirit's saying is, you're going to be looking at a missed opportunity here. A missed opportunity because we didn't go after it. We didn't claim it. We didn't do all that we could. And we might say, well, what if all that I can is not good enough? Then that's this thought. It's saying, when you do all that you can, stars align. When you do all that you can, what's meant for you with this dreams is going to unfold for you, and it will align for you, and it will shift, and it will move you towards this thing. But when you don't, then you sort of stay where you're at here. So I feel like there's something about competition, and I don't know if you're competing with a version of what you think you need to be. Okay, or maybe it's a competitive field. It's like, I don't know, it's like keeping us in place. The fear, the anxiety of what I'd have to face, or the version of me I'd have to be, or this now version of who I think that I am. And it's like, that's the thing that's untrue. So we got to keep turning this ceiling fan. There I go again with negative self-speak. There I go again telling myself that I can't. There I go again. Okay, now we don't beat ourselves up for these thoughts. It's like, but I caught it. I caught it. I caught it. I caught it. And the more you catch it, then it's like this change. That's the only way to change these like negative neurons or the negative self-speak. But we have to catch it. We have to see it in action. Because the more we sort of just keep doing the same thing, we keep getting what we've always gotten. And I feel what you're getting is a non-progress, is a disappointment, is further away from that in which we want. And it doesn't feel good. So I think Spirit's telling you, like, there's a truth here that you can have, but you got to be a game player here. The Lovers, yeah, for some of you guys, it's like your soul's calling, a partnership, destiny here. It's really aligned with your path. So of course, what's for you, Spirit's not going to keep it from you, but you can say, okay, well, if this is for me, then I'll just sort of come. It's like, maybe in another lifetime, because your lessons here is to claim what you're wanting, overcome this mind speak. Only you can do this. Spirit can't do this for you, okay? Daughter of Cups, Page of Cups. So I feel there's something strong here about a childhood dream, connecting to the heart space, creativity, your soul's calling. The Page is the first step, the King is the last. Okay, when it comes to development of this creation, okay, from the soul, from the heart, vulnerability, innocence, emotionally connected to something here, and we're sort of like suppressing our childhood dreams, or we're not letting this inner child create, and we're like not seeing that this path that is aligned to our destiny would require us to get on that ship, to require us to move out of these negative thoughts. That's the only way out, to leave them behind, the baggage, the thoughts, the anxiety, the way we think that things could be going in the future that is going to create some sort of a competition for me, or this just pessimistic energy. We're like deceiving ourselves big time. So this change of perspective I'm really getting with the 66, because that's 12. 12 is hangman energy. Hangman is all about connecting to a higher state of understanding through spirit. So we might need to pause, learn the truth, shift how we see things completely, a 180 here in thought, and then we could move in action and initiate change. But we need a different perspective on ourselves in this whole thing. We are the ones, we have to do this. And it starts with admitting the truth. And it's not an overnight. Like I said, the smoke isn't going to dissipate. So we have to sort of keep at that all the time. It's like, it's really the same analogy that I use with the cornfield. It's like if my negative self-speak always says the same thing, it's always firing off that same thought, that same neuron. And I infuse that thought like it's true. It fires off, okay, the path in the cornfield. It's firing off. It's going in that same path. It's firing off in the same direction. It'll continuously do that because that's the path of least resistance. So it's going to take time for me to stop that thought and then forge a new way of thinking and create a whole new path in that cornfield. But it requires me to like make a path. Like I have to go through, and it's like, it might seem resistant. It might seem like I'm going uphill. It might seem like a consistent turning of the fan. We create that path. And so now, it's like every time this thought comes, it's like, oh, it's so difficult for me to create another neuron, but it takes conscious effort on. And then we finally forge this path. And now our thinking shifts, and we could go in a different path, and this other path starts to grow with corn. So now we've created a new way of thinking that remains more of a higher vibration, more in line with the truth. But as long as we keep firing in the same path, we keep getting the same thoughts here. And so this is hangman energy, because it's like, I want to connect to a higher way of thinking that shifts how I think. And that has to take your initiative. That has to take your claiming your truth. You convert this energy. So I feel like there's a new door that can open for you on the other side of this 3 wands. I feel like it's going to create a stable world for you. I think it's going to be in line with what your heart is calling you to experience here. I think it's in line with your destiny. I think it's requiring you to be honest and see the truth. That if you are feeling fear, then be honest about the fears get in the way, or the anxiety, or the projections, or the self-speak that's saying, I don't have what it takes, or I can't, and then don't let it be reflecting in your actions, because your actions in the pentacle realm is the only thing that's going to manifest this thing. So if I don't put forward the pentacle in the practical way, the effort, and I just sort of remove it and I'm in my mind. Your mind is not necessarily going to create the pentacle realm here in the way that is true to your heart. Your mind could fantasize about being, I don't know, the Queen of England all day long. It doesn't manifest here. So I feel like there's a dream that's requiring pentacle effort and energy, and an action that requires you to keep turning towards the higher thought, and an identification of the unhealthy thought, or the pessimistic thought, or the thought that says I can't and I won't, or the anxiety or the worry. Otherwise, we can really experience a missing out here. Okay. Pile number 2. This is your reading. I hope this helped you. I'll see you at the next one. All right. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. You guys have the card of coping. I just want to make sure I'm recording. Yes, okay. And then you have the racetrack and the serpent, coiled serpent here. Coping number 9, number 39, and 42. All right, vroom, vroom, said here. Are we doing cycles or going nowhere faster? Maybe we feel like we're stuck in some sort of a loop. So the serpent can represent Kundalini, okay? For some of you guys. Coping. Okay, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like maybe you feel like trapped somewhere here, okay? But lots of healing is coming through this pile for sure. Seems to be like even 9 is hermit energy, which is the pilgrimage of knowing oneself. Maybe feeling like some truths are being revealed to us, some sort of spiritual truths, massive healing, but we might feel trapped or looped, or like we're doing circles with something or something like this. But I'm also getting like the truth from this. The truth. Like, what is the truth in regards to our eternal self? Wow, that's profound. What has always been and will always be. I think you're connecting to the truth of who you are. Okay, so let's just see. We're asking spirit for the truth of either this person, your situation, experience. This could be someone around you, your own truth, and how it is we're seeing it or understanding it, or how this person is seeing and understanding. What is the truth? Okay, if it's not your pile, then it's someone else's. So, oh my goodness, reddening, the awakening of something. Look at the snake, you guys. It doesn't even look at these cards. So we have the devil. Devil represents shadow. It represents patterns that might be holding us back. Reddening, something coming alive here. Now we see the figure 8 here, but look, this snake doesn't create the figure 8. Healing, wisdom. So Capricorn energy, Virgo energy, very strong here. Something coming online, the awakening, seeing through shadow, ego, seeing through addictions maybe, patterns, coping, meaning maybe settling on something here. This is a rattlesnake. Something about noise, hearing something, but hearing something not necessarily with the ears. I feel there's something being shown to you, like through an understanding of something, but we have to be still to hear it, see it, understand it. Wow, okay, very profound. Chaos. 51, number 6, more Capricorn energy. And Scorpio, I feel here, chaos. So like I said, like, is there lots of vibrating noise around, maybe distortion around? Entropy, something's not making sense. It seems very chaotic. Okay. 26, the bee and pomegranate, productivity. Okay, how do I make sense of the chaos? How do I work in the chaos? How do I make something of this chaos? How do I rise amongst the chaos? How do I create or be productive? Or what's the routine? Or what do I need to do? What's available to me? All right, number 1, new beginnings, potential opportunities. 1 is the house of the self. Who am I? That's what I was getting from the 9. Who am I? The cusp of this house is the rising sign or ascendant. You guys might want to look up your ascendant sign as well. So for example, my ascendant is Virgo, which is this hermit energy. Okay, so it's like how you appear out into the universe here. So yeah, ego's even coming through, which is this Capricorn devil energy. Okay, so here. Outlook on life. First house is all about self, appearances, beginnings, body, first impressions, attitude, identity, and the approach to life. All right, anger, 41 and 1. So we have 11 coming through. 11 is divine inspiration, synchronicity, and the encouragement to keep going. Aggressiveness, irritability, judgment, criticism, bitterness, and conviction. Type 1, the perfectionist, instinctive center between control and letting go. 46 could be an age. It's coming through strong as a number here. Okay, it could be an apartment building or an address. But it's back to this 1. So new beginnings, potential, opportunity, a will, pioneering, individuality, all about independence. So let's see, yeah, and 1B, independence here. Okay, clear and concise message for the greater and higher good of pile number 3. Spirit, please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. Pile 3, thank you so much for being here. I'd like to thank your higher self, spirit team, spirit guides, angels, ancestors for this act of divination. Thank you so much. What is it that pile 3 is thinking and believing, and what is the truth? Or what is it that's going on in pile 3's world, person, place, or thing, that is believing or understanding one thing, and what is the truth? Pile 3 needs to know about this. What is the truth? Clear and concise message for pile 3. Daughter of Cups, Page of Cups, and under that we have the Ace of Cups, the self again. The inner child, sort of heart consciousness here too. Okay, beautiful. Self-love, 2 cups. Me and the world that reflects back to me. Relationship. We're in relationship with everyone and everything out there. Beyond the self, there is the reflection of what is going on in the universe back to me, but it's all coming from the one state of consciousness. Wow, this is going to be a very profound reading here. 10 swords. And Son of Cups. Lots of cups here. Page of Cups, the Knight of Cups, 2 cups, Ace of Cups, the Emperor, Divine Masculine energy. That's that. I know Emperor's 4, but the one energy was really coming through because it was giving me independence and will and individuality with this Emperor, like being empowered. Okay, Divine Masculine. And then we have the Father of Pentacles. Look at that stag. Strong Emperor energy here. Okay, and then that's Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Strong Capricorn and Virgo here. Okay, and then the 4 of Swords. Innocence coming through. Even this Page of Cups and this little lamb. 4 Swords is all about the healing, reflecting. The Sun is enlightenment and truth and clarity. Okay, what's under this Ace of Cups in reverse is the 8 of Cups. It is in reverse as well. So let me channel this information for you. Okay, pile number 3. Interesting energy. Some of you guys could be pulled to pile 1, okay? Although this is a different sort of energy, but it's kind of along the same sort of lines. What's happening over here? I don't know if I'm tapping into 2 energies, someone you're dealing with, your energy. It's up to you to sort of determine how to apply this thing, okay? It might become clear by the end here. So we have strong Virgo, Capricorn, some Taurus, some Aries energy, and some Gemini as well, and a little bit of Aquarius as well, but strong Virgo, Capricorn, and Scorpio and Aries. Okay, so what's happening here? I feel like there is someone I'm tapped into, and this could be someone you're dealing with, and this could be your own energy. It could be mirrored with 2. Is awaken up from the nightmare of the belief that we are a separate self. We are this body, and it's the world versus me, and everything revolves around this identity that I've created of myself, and that's how I see and perceive the world around me out there. And as long as we are in that state of consciousness, we experience suffering, challenge, we have to compete, we have to prove, and there's that one-track mind. But I feel like what's happening here is Spirit is showing the truth to this person. This person can't escape the truth. And this truth is coming online slowly and slowly through a reflection, either in a connection or through their environment. You could be reflecting back to this person. This person could be reflecting it to you, or it could be happening to both of you, which I feel like is how I'm reading for this case. And it could be in an intimate relationship for sure with the roses here, okay? Because usually in intimate relationships is where we see the deeper truths of ourselves. And what's the deepest truth of ourselves is that we are one. That there is only one state of consciousness. Yes, back towards this point of originality, the great source of truth. Okay, but in order for us to evolve spiritually, we have to see beyond our understanding. And our understanding that's going on here is that there is me against the world, or that there's a separate person from me and I'm act as if, and that's my belief of it, and that's how I see it. Okay, so I feel like there could be an experience here which doesn't feel good in the connection, because I feel like it's our birthright to experience love and to experience a shared, valued relationship of giving and receiving in a mutual capacity here. And we could be really experiencing the end of a relationship, the disappointments in relationships, or just whatever I'm going through in a relationship is revealing to me thoughts that are now falling away, even though it's very painful, of what I used to think of myself. So this person is having a revelation of self happening here through a process that's very organic, that's coming online, showing the truth, the mask that they wear, the ego that they wear. I feel like this person, like we all do, okay, this is very swinging on a pendulum here. It says aggressiveness, irritability, judgment, criticism, bitterness. We finally realize when we see through the ego, the mask, or this lie that we're separate, how much judgment we actually carry. I don't feel this is a cruel person pointing and laughing and creating all sorts of horrible projections onto the world. However, what is the horrible projection? It's carrying any sort of judgment. And we carry judgment when we have an understanding that is not necessarily for the highest or that's true. And we carry understandings of ourselves and of other that keeps us sort of believing in separation. So if we're feeling any energy of lack, disappointment, anger, frustration, criticism, bitterness, judgments, irritability, whatever, that's for the spectrum of the negative. Okay, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying the negative polarity. On the positive side is truth, clarity, love, acceptance. And so we need to know where on this spectrum we're sort of sitting here. Because when we're on the spectrum of the shadow, the devil, the dark, we're believing in the inversion of truth, which means that the illusion looks real, the distortion looks real. Disappointment could certainly be an experience I have, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's real. It is created by a perception of understanding of duality, separation. So I feel like this person is going through an awakening here. Okay, we see snake. It could certainly be a Kundalini awakening here, a rising of truth through a painful process here. And it could really be revealing itself through repeated patterns, feeling almost stuck in a no way out sort of experience, but it's done like this by design, because I feel like what is being revealed to this person is eternity, like they are the eternal self, the infinite self, the one creator, the one point of consciousness is being revealed to this person. But I feel like if this person is used to sort of being a creator here in the pentacle realm, being a doer, it's like, what can I do here in the 3D? I want to create, I want to build, and that's why we're here for sure. To build, to create, to be successful, to build an empire, or just to be successful in the 3D. We're not just solely spiritual beings living on some sort of independent dream state that isn't down with reality or 3D. However, if we've been born into this 3D world and we've never reached the state of unity, understanding, or consciousness, we think we're this doer. And we keep fighting the matrix or the system, and we keep building and building, and we're on this rat race, vroom, vroom, vroom. How fast can I go? Where am I going to go? And we get nowhere. We don't get anywhere. We might reach a pinnacle. Look at all these cars, these homes, these jobs. This is my title. This is what I know. This is what I built. And it's like, after a while, it doesn't go anywhere. That's 3D. That's the lowest state of consciousness. And so there's a higher state of consciousness this person is entering. And unfortunately, it's painful. But when we break the ceiling of the lower state, which is all 3D based, matrix based, and nothing makes sense. It's like we're thrown into this other world of 5D and nothing makes sense. And it's like, and then my 3D starts to become chaotic. Nothing makes sense in the 3D anymore. It's like, no, because we're cracking open the truth and we're healing through this process. And we can't go to the next chapter of creation until we see the truth of who we are and what we're creating here. So I feel like there's a desire to create, And there is the self that can engage, the form that engages in the 3D to build its empire, build its world, create it, whatever it needs to create. But in order for us to align with our creation and what we're being called to do, it has to come from the truthful place of the heart, the soul. And if it doesn't, then we sort of perpetuate the same matrix living, the same painful understanding, the same disappointing cycles over and over and over, playing small, repeating cycles, not connected to greater truths, our divine purpose. So I feel like there is maybe a process of having to really see the truth, hear the truth, sit with the truth. And it could be very annoying because it's like, I want to get going, or I want to be empowered, or my empowerment feels stripped, or I want to build, I want to already know. And this creates suffering because it's like, if we're attached to that, it creates more of this like resistance to what is. Right now, I don't know what I'm to build. Right now, I'm being called to see the truth. Right now, I'm being called to heal. Right now, the truth's being revealed. My divine truth. I'm being connected to spirit. What a gift, what a gift, what a gift. And I'm rising up to this great truth. And we might be really feeling like I'm disabled or handicapped in some way, or I'm like diffused from action. And I'm just like limping along, coping along, barely making it by. You know, this could feel very challenging. This feeling doesn't feel good. And it's like, no matter how much I try to move forward, I'm like stuck in my 3D environment, which is emotionally unsatisfying. I don't feel I could give to it, share with it, experience it. I feel like it's not making me feel emotionally happy. And then it's like, if I'm not, then let me do something about it, right? You would think, let me do something. Let me create. Let me be the doer. Let me engage in the 3D. Let me put my power into action. Let me do something. And it's Spirit saying, no, because what we're learning is we're not the doer. Yes, there is a time and place where the doing gets doing, and the confidence gets confidence, and the build gets the build. But to put the cart before the horse, what Spirit is saying is, first, the arising of the true self comes. And when this comes, it burns away. I'm seeing like this phoenix rising, this transmutation of the mask, the ego, the self that we thought that we were, the place we pulled our empowerment from, the doer, the person who thought that they were the ones creating their universe, because that's what we experienced. But it was an illusion, that it was just me building, creating, like this little doer, and that I knew exactly what I was doing. It's like, no, how do you know how to breathe? You don't know all the cells. How do you know how to do this? You don't know. You're just sort of doing it. Spirit is driving. A greater source of intelligence breathes through you. And so this same source, this one source of consciousness, this God energy, okay, source, power, spirit, whatever you want to call this thing, this forever eternal source is going through you, and it's going through every form. And it wants to create through you because you have some purpose here to create here, but it can't create through a distorted ego mask persona. And so these are the things that fall away. And so all the distortions like judgments, illusions, bitterness, resentments, anger, frustrations, whatever words you want to use, because I feel it's not a good feeling. And I feel there's a justification of this, which is fine. We're frustrated maybe with spirit. We're frustrated with the chaos. We're frustrated with the lack of certainty. We're frustrated with the lack of empowerment to do. And it's like, I know how to do. I want to do. I'm here willing to go in. It's like, put me in, coach, put me in, you know. But the coach is saying, no, this isn't about this. And we might really think like, I need to be proactive right now, or I need to be productive, or I need to create. Like, and we are creators. There's nothing wrong with this desire to create, because I think you are creating. And it's saying in this stage of creation, because you're creating for sure, in this stage of the creation, what it requires is true inwards introspection of seeing and hearing the truth. This requires stillness, because what it's trying to show you is something that cannot come from an outward energy of you. The outward energy will push this, what Spirit's trying to show you, away further from you. It's saying, whoa, let it come. Don't chase it. Don't attach to it. Don't try to create anything prematurely here. Listen, it will be shown. The chaos will be sorted through. It's almost like shaking a snow globe, or like water with a whole bunch of like sediment in it. Then you shake it, and then we're like, because our world's been shaken here. And it could be, again, a catalyst relationship. It could be through a separation or an ending. It could just be a mirrored reflection of an outer world that has shown me something, and it shook. And now there's all this sediment and it needs to settle. And in order to settle, I can't keep shaking that thing or trying to force that snow globe or that cup of water. The only way to get the sediment to settle, to make sense of this entropy or to see through this thing, is to stillness. Stillness, this is why we meditate. It isn't so we could become this Buddha and say it's so fun to meditate. No, nobody likes it. The mind starts going every which way. And it goes every which way when there's still too much chaos in the mind, when we're still removed from the peace within, when we still have a lot of ego and identity, when we still carry lots of judgments, when we still carry this energy, we cannot meditate. We say meditation is not for me, stillness not for me. It's like, yeah, it's not for you when we're totally clouded by this rat race understanding. And it's saying silence, still the body, allow this thing to emerge. You will see the truth and it'll break you out of cycles. But it's sort of like holding you here till you see it. And we could just be like feeling like I can't break out, or I can't see, or I feel like I'm not empowered to act in line with what I want. It's saying, child, you don't know what you want yet. You might think you do. You might say, well, all I want is to move and build or create or leave this circumstance, or it's emotionally dissatisfying, whatever I am experiencing. So I do know that much. It's like, yes, you know that much, but there's a truer thing that's coming from the inner child of truth. And it is all based on self-love and sitting with one's self. So you can see your true nature of self. The true nature of self, the full cup of self, must come online organically, naturally, through stillness. And so when we sit there still, all sorts of vulnerabilities come out, all sorts of emotions come out, how we feel about others, how we connect with others, how we might have been judging others, judging self, how we might have been expressing our emotions, how we might have been hanging on to angers, resentments, I don't know, whatever sort of we might have thought gave us power, or whatever way we thought that we were. This is how I create structure in the 3D. This is how I create my 3D living. This is how I build. This is what gives me strength. It's like, no, first let's undo. It doesn't mean we're weak. It means first we have to be vulnerable. First we have to be humble. First we have to connect to that in which is going on within us. And in this energy, it's like this lamb. The lamb isn't an energy that's forceful and driving all sorts of change. The lamb is innocent, sweet, and humble, and says, Spirit, show me. And I'm getting like the wandering lamb, Jesus goes and gets the one wandering lamb, even though all the other sheep are sort of going one way. Is one that goes off, the one that goes off. It's like no one's left behind here, because there is your time, and your time is to be able to see the truth of who you truly are beyond the mask. So I feel like you're seeing, if this is you, like I said, you're seeing the truth. It's coming through with a lot of healing, but also with a lot of pain and with a lot of need to control. We want to control how it goes, where it goes. And we're like, why is this stripped from me? I feel less empowered. I feel all sorts of ways. And it's like this energy that you might be feeling based on what you're experiencing, the Spirit wants you to see it and surrender that, because this is the only reason we'd be emotionally not feeling very good, because the belief to that we don't like is remaining alive. I don't like it. It's not saying, okay, just like being helpless or like being stuck or like it's not saying like it. It's saying notice the contracting energies of anger and resentment and judgment and what you don't like. Notice it. Welcome it. Saying this too is a part of life. This too is happening right now. This too is who I am, because I'm all things. I'm the positive polarity and the negative polarity. And when I know that I'm all things, then I could choose to be more in the positive polarity, or I could choose to be more in the negative, but I'm conscious to it. But when I resist it, I don't like this. I don't like feeling helpless. I don't like. So I resist it. I avoid it. I refuse it. And then I create the suffering. The suffering stays alive as long as you resist. It's like, I welcome that I'm not happy. I welcome that I'm carrying this, but I see it. I see it, Spirit. That's fine. In this moment, I see what's I don't like, but I'm not going to force it away or try to make it different, because when we start to try to change the suffering ourselves, we're telling ourselves that thing we want it to be different, and that's more suffering. Suffering is created by not accepting. And so whatever is happening, it's saying accept. Because with the Kundalini, okay, not all of you guys are going through the Kundalini, or whoever is going through this awakening of sorts, okay, but it's represented to me by Kundalini. This awakening of sorts cannot be stopped. That's what it's saying. It cannot be stopped. And what would happen if something interfered when the race car, what's that called? I was going to say NASA. NASA is the space agents. What's the race car? NASCAR. When the race cars are going, if something just like interferes in this thing, good luck. It's like, don't interfere in a process that's happening here. It's a process that's happening, and it might feel like it's not going anywhere. It might feel chaotic. It might feel all sorts of ways. But when we interfere with that thing through resistance, trying not to let it happen, then we're getting in the way of reality. And we think we're being productive, but all we're doing is perpetuating suffering, resistance, hanging on to certain things, and it slows down this progress, because this progress is happening. It's building momentum. And so it's okay to not like what's going on, because I think you might be experiencing challenging relationships. You might be experiencing challenging thoughts. You might be feeling very disabled when it comes to your ability to create or control. You might feel as though you're incapable of expressing maybe your emotions or going towards that in which you want, what you feel connected to, or what you love. And you might be making all sorts of judgments about yourself. Like, whatever you're carrying here, it's like Spirit says, you will then connect to the truth of who you are. And I feel like there's a self that is not connected to at this point in time. And therefore, we're experiencing emotional dissatisfaction. So, Aries, the Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy coming through very strong here, okay? And Scorpio. So let's tap into the truth here in regards to pile number 3. What is the truth then that pile number 3 needs to know? Pile number 3. This person we're tapped into, or this energy we're tapped into, what is the truth? So the misbelief would be that I can do something, or that I need to do something, or the more I do something, or the more I suffer here, the more I feel like I want to break out or do this or understand that. And it's like, no, that's the misunderstanding. There's an acceptance, which is going to free you, going to allow you to see. The acceptance is the thing that's going to create the peace and harmony and the surrender. Clear and concise message. Close out this reading for pile number 3. What do they need to know about the truth? 2 Pentacles in the reverse. 7 Swords. The false self. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. Look at that. Again, that what I was getting from this race car thing. The infinity loop. Yeah, we could keep getting the same thoughts over and over and over, and feel really trapped by our mind. And what's that thought? It's the ego, the persona, the identity that we're attached to. I'm like this, it's happening like that, and we keep playing that over and over. It's a lie. We're breaking through this. We're going to see through this illusion. Okay, the star in reverse, and this could be the lie. I'm not getting where I need to go. If there was a destined place or a star, a wish, a desire, a path, and it's like the lie here is that it's not going to happen, or that the lie is I have to do something to align with the star. And it's like, no, that's the trap belief that there's something you're supposed to be doing. Let that within itself go. Because what's for you is for you. What's aligned for your destiny is your destiny. It's nobody else's. There is no reason to hang on to hopelessness or disappointments. It's not going to happen, or it's not aligned. And then we keep perpetuating that lie. It's like, no, why do we have this lie? Because this is the way I think. This is what I've experienced. It's like, yeah, but that's the trap. That's the loop. That's the lie. It's like, let that go. Be in peace. Be still. Hear the truth. Don't get stuck in that mindset, that loop. Devil, stuck in that mindset, that loop. I can't, I won't, I'm stuck. Okay, coping mechanisms, addictions, toxic ways of being, habitual patterns, not being able to choose what we want because of the false self that intervenes, saying can't, won't. What's a sideways card? Yeah, 8 swords, working through that. This person's working through their limiting beliefs, okay? That keeps them sort of held hostage here. Mother of Pentacles. So we saw the King, and now we see the Queen of Pentacles. Heavy Capricorn energy. Okay, Virgo, Taurus. So Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I can't. And there might be a codependency, or the 3D world here is creating some sort of thing. 5 wands in the reverse. Giving up on our star, wish, and our dream. 6 swords, and then the High Priestess. And then the 7 cups in the reverse. Okay. So only you know, whether this is you or someone you're dealing with. Like I said, could be mirrored with 2 souls here, an awakening of the truth of who we truly are here. I feel there's a destined experience that you're experiencing here. To get there, we have to surrender. We can't fight our way to that. So this isn't a journey of prove yourself or do this or do that. If you're already thinking, I got to do this, or I got to be like this, I got to think like this, and I got to do all of that is going to keep you in the non-surrender state. It's going to keep the 7 sword alive. This journey requires the dropping of the 7 sword. How do I drop the 7 sword? Whatever you're thinking you got to be or do in the 3D, that's the thing you're being called to see through. It's not true. It's the thing that's keeping you stuck. In the 3D, I feel you feel stuck. And it's saying you're not stuck. The only reason you would be stuck or feeling stuck is because you believe that you're stuck. Let that go. And know that Spirit is going to align you with what's meant for you. But this journey doesn't require a doing so much as it does allowing and a seeing. Because the stillness will let you see the illusion. It's going to let you see. And then slowly but surely you're going to move out of this energy. And I feel right now it's too chaotic with the 7 of Cups. It's too chaotic. It's too cloudy. We don't know truth from illusion. It all kind of seems fake and real at the same time. And it's like, how do I navigate through this confusion? Because when we first go through this awakening, it's like the intuition is coming, but the fears are there. The doubt is there. The mind speaks there. The ego's there. The devil's there. And it's like, my fear, my beliefs, the intuition. I'm feeling Spirit pulling me towards something, but it's like it's all happening sort of all together, and it's creating this chaos. And it's like there's only one truth. Everything else is devilly illusion and fears and repetitive thoughts and beliefs and 7 swords. How do we know the difference? Stillness. This is why we meditate when we go through a spiritual awakening. However you get still. Okay, if we're focused on something, creating a something, unless you're in a deep state of meditation when you're creating something, then it won't be seen. We could just be keeping busy. We could keep enacting. We could keep resisting, like I said, and try to force our will our way. And it's saying this intuition, this truth, this spiritual destined path is where Spirit wants you to move through and get you out of chaos, get you out of confusion, get you out of this state. But it requires a surrender and a not a fighting. And it's bringing you out of a codependent energy that's keeping you trapped in devilly thoughts. So how do we know we're in those thoughts? When they're in anything that's more negative, contracting. It's coming from a place that isn't necessarily true, but it's a repeat pattern. It's a repeat pattern. There goes the judgment again. There goes the untruth again. There goes me seeing the disappointing thing again. There goes me, and we could, and trust me, the ego will dress this up as it's true. But it is true. This is what I see. It is disappointing. It is. And it's like, it's not saying that it's not disappointing. It's saying we're experiencing disappointment. But there is a truth beyond that disappointment that is trying to show you. And as long as we're focused on the disappointment, as long as we're focused and attached to that thing in which we're seeing, we're missing everything else. And then we start to get stuck there. And it's saying, no, just say, yes, it's disappointing. Yes, this doesn't feel good. Yes, this feels limiting. Yes, but I'm not going to judge it. And I'm not going to say that that's where I'm going to stay and that everything else is misaligned and I'm never going to get to where I need to go or give up on my dream, or that means it's kiss it goodbye, or that I'm even saying that I'm accepting that I'm going to be challenged forever. This is saying I'm accepting just this present moment, the disappointments of the present moment, the part of me that doesn't know what to do in this present moment, the part of me that wants to do something, but it's just doing this so I could get out of this. It's like, no, I'm going to accept all parts of me and I'm just going to give it up to spirit, because spirit is trying to show you here. And then when this becomes the natural thing, you will be shown the path. You will be shown what to do. You will know the truth. You will have healed the thing. The thing will be revealed. The intuition will be very clear, and you'll get out of this chaotic state or this challenging state right now that I don't think you want to be in. Okay? So stillness to see the truth, stillness to see the thoughts or hear the thoughts, and then don't buy them. Don't buy the story that it's trying to tell you, because it's going to paint it like it's real. And so know when we're getting lost in that thought, like it's a real thing, a real story, and be the observer saying, whoa, I see that thought's trying to audition for my attention. It's pulling me away from truth. It's keeping me stuck in loop. It's trying to get me to think the same way. And it's like, no, I see that thought coming online. I'm not going to force it. I'm going to say, thank you, thought, shake its hand. It goes on its way. Not beat myself up, say, there I go again. I'm still in thought. I'm still in ego. I'm still, no, because that's more of that then. It was like, thank you, thought. There you go. There you go. I think you're being freed from Matrix or this person, whoever I'm channeling. Okay, so there's a destined North Star, a healing taking place, a purpose, a divine direction. And this direction right now is requiring a full-on surrender, not resistance, and not trying to face it with our fists or with a doing or with structure or order. It's saying, I am the universe. I create order and structure. You are a form, and all you're required to do is just open your hands and be still and listen to what I'm trying to show you, so you can build the thing in which I'm needing you to build, which will make you very happy because it's your destined path. It's aligned with what you want, but it's going to come through spirit, not through a doing, not through a force. Okay, so you're not coping so much as you are seeing what is and then accepting all of it at this moment only, so it could shift on its own without gripping, changing, denying, or being aggressive about it and not liking it. Like, yes, don't lie. You don't like it, but that's fine. What I don't like, I'm accepting. What I don't like, I'm experiencing. What I don't like is here. The judgments are here. The thoughts are here. They're not real. Spirit, show me what's real. And Spirit says, you will see, and you'll break out of this thing, okay? You'll see your eternal self. That's beautiful. So, wow. Pile number 3, this is your reading. I love you very much. I'll see you at the next one. All right, bye-bye.